our left side, beyond the corrals we're about to pass, you'll see two more of our female ostriches out there, checking us out.
Okay, and a Batman costume? Yeah, and a Batman movie, and a Batman movie. I already have one. Wait, and do you have that?
Now we saw the black stripes across the eyes of the hensbach antelope. Down below us, this brown antelope with a black and white face, short curved horns, is a roan antelope. And the black stripes on it, besides making their horns look longer, also hides where their eyes are located from predators. And, you know, eyes, as you know, are a very vulnerable part of anybody's body, so it's a good thing to hide them. Also makes it hard for predators to tell which way they're looking, so they can't be sure if they've been spotted or not. Now on our left side here, smaller orangish-brown animals are Uganda cob antelope. You can see the male cob there in the back right with his nice set of horns, showing off to the females. Here's the roan antelope with the feeder trough right behind the fence. The rest of the roans are across the way on top of the grassy slope. And notice where the roans have placed themselves in their exhibit. They are pretty much the highest point they can get to up here. So if you think they're all up here because by being up here, they can see farther for predators, raise your hand. Okay, if you think they're up here because by being up here they can hear and smell farther for predators, raise your hand. Actually, in this case, both answers are correct. So everybody raise their hand was right. Good job, folks.
Yeah, you see that?
And another side benefit of being up here, it's cooler and breezier up here than down in the canyon where we were on warm days. You'll see that as soon as we get up on the bridge right here ahead of us. Now we saw the great white and Dalmatian pelicans from Africa earlier in our tour. On our right side, folks, look at the right side of the lake. Down below us, you see some big whitish birds, the big bills. Those are pink-backed pelicans from Africa. And notice how a lot of them working on their feathers. And birds spend more time doing that than any other single activity. That's because feathers are always under assault by things like bacteria and parasites. So to fight that, the birds are always trying to keep their feathers clean and oiled from the oil gland at the base of their tail. And it's especially important for water birds to keep their feathers in good shape because they have to be waterproof. If they're not, and water when it penetrates to their skin, they can freeze to death. Even if the water is so cooler than 40 or 50 degrees Fahrenheit, that's because water conducts heat way, way better than air does. And if you've ever compared the difference between, let's say, a 40-degree air temperature versus a 40-degree water temperature, you know that the water feels much colder than the air does. So back on our left side, you can see on top of the rocky hill we're going around, here's the rest of the roan antelope, the big brown animals out there. See the babies between the adults, that's not a coincidence. They do that deliberately for protection for the young ones.
You see them up there, up on the
Now I mentioned one reason the roans are up here is looking out for predators. Now there are no predators in the exhibit with them, but they're not sure about that because they can smell our lions that live back in our station, even out here. We deliberately put our lions and other predators upwind of the other animals, and that way the other animals can always at least smell the predators, even if they can't see them, and that keeps them more alert and having more babies.
Look at the horns on that one. Look at the big horns on that one.
Now we saw the hensbach antelope back there with the big long horns back there. More antelope in that same tribe down below us. Big white animals there just beyond the dirt roads with long horns coming back their heads. Those are scimitar horned oryx. Look at the hairy dead there. Those are some of our bachelor males. They're in there because we don't want them to fight with our dominant male, our herd, over the females. And the big tame animal walking on our side of the dirt road to the left, that's one of our female greater kudu antelopes. See her big ears pointing toward us. Kudu are forest antelopes, so in the forest, the big ears are very helpful because you can usually hear danger farther than you can see it in a forest. On our right side, you can see some of the undeveloped part of the park. You can see about half the park undeveloped. This kind of habitat down to about a tenth of its original area now here in Southern California. And it's home to several endangered species, such as California gnatcatchers, which is a type of bird. So we're trying to help them out by protecting their habitat.
Oh, look at the zebras.
Now, earlier in the tour, we saw the Somali wild asses. The other members of the horse family in Africa come with black and white stripes, and I bet you can guess what they're called. And of course, those are zebras. Look down below us, big black and white striped animals out there. our gray zebra, the largest type of zebra in Africa. Our baby zebra is just to the left, to the right side of that small round building, the front middle of the exhibit, right in the shade next to Mom. Look closely. Baby's going to walk out in the sun maybe here. Oh yeah, there it goes. You see the baby? And the zebras, of course, also have a big mane on their neck, just like all members of the horse family do, to help make their neck look bigger and more impressive to each other. Now, gravies are endangered. There were 15,000 in the early 70s, now they're down to around 2,000.
Yeah, you see the zebra?
Global climate change, which is very likely responsible for the unprecedented drought the zebras are having to deal with where they live in East Africa. So here's the park.
Come on, take a picture.
One of the ways they're helping them, we're contributing money to projects that help the zebra and the people who live nearby them. One of those projects is to help the local people get their domestic animals vaccinated against anthrax. And that helps their animals out and prevents their animals from giving that disease to the wild animals like the zebras.
Okay, let me show you again.
Now I saw the key buffalo back there. Remember they had the horns that curve into the tips. Nice adaptation. They don't tail each other. So our animals have the same adaptation ahead of us here on the left side. These gray animals with the black faces are wildebeest antelope, along with zebras and deer-trailed lions. Now the wildebeest do not really defend each other like the key buffalo do, but they do live in huge herds, and in those tight quarters, it's again a nice thing to not get impaled or be impaled or impale yourself.
I got it. You got it. Get those rebels.
And earlier in the tour, we saw some of our Patterson elands, the really big cane antelope. And there's more of them on our left side, a lot closer.
Look at those right there.
Now on our right side, folks, you can see up here at the feeder trough in the sun, in front of us, brown animals. Those are some of our female Barbary red deer. They only have this deer in Africa. More of the deer are in the roof out there in the shade. Putting our male in the back right corner there, one of the males. And a lot of people will ask us what the difference is between deer and antelope anyway. Well, deer have antlers, at least the males do. They grow them every year to show off to the females and then shed them after breeding season. Antelope have horns. They grow them once, keep their whole life. And these deer are near threatened now in the wild, so we do breed them. To the left of the antelope, to the deer, and actually to the right of the deer also, the big white animals, the long horns coming back their heads. We saw some of the bachelor males from this species earlier. These are scimitar horned oryx from the Sahara Desert. And until recently, they were extinct in the wild due to poaching for those really nice horns. So we're one of several zoos returning captive-born oryx back to Africa. 9 went back at the end of 2007, and there's more on the way because we've had over 400 of them born here. Back on our left side, you can see some of the baby elands out there on the grass with some of the adults. And between us and the elands, big group of white round things are on the ground here, folks, just beyond the fence on our left side. Now, what do you think these white round things are anyway? I'll go by slowly here.
Eggs.
Oh,
yeah, those are ostrich eggs. That's an ostrich
look
nest.
over here.
Those eggs are from several different females, not just one. They lay all their eggs in one big communal nest. And you might wonder why aren't there any ostriches sitting on the eggs. And there's some more of the baby elands, by the way, on the grass. Well, we only have female ostriches here at the park. The eggs are not fertile, and they are never going to hatch. The females seem to realize that, so they don't spend any time trying to incubate them. And the reason we don't breed ostriches here is, like I mentioned earlier, they're still doing pretty well in the wild. They're not globally threatened anywhere in Africa, although they are recently threatened in some places by poaching for their egg feathers. Now, we started our tour, we saw those brown shaggy animals coming down to